We're now ready for our next step. We went ahead and purchased some 5/8 inch drywall, which matches the existing drywall. Now we're going to go ahead and get the size of our opening, figure out where our cans are placed, go down in the garage, cut that piece out, and throw it up. Okay, with your blue painter's tape and a tape measure, go ahead and measure out the length and the width of your opening. Then pick a specific corner and make your measurements for the cans off of that corner. Get the inside and outside of each can, and what we'll do is we'll box that out, find our center, and draw out our circle downstairs. Same thing with the other side. Go ahead and measure out the length and the width. Write it on your blue painter's tape. Then, off of a specific corner, measure out the distance, the inside and outside of each can. And then we'll go ahead, take it downstairs, box out those measurements, find our center, and draw out our circle. And always remember to measure twice and cut once. To cut your drywall, go ahead and lay it on its side onto a couple pieces of wood. This will make it easier to make your measurements, your marks, to snap your chalk line, and to score the front. After you score the front, snap the back, and then cut the back up along the crease. What we're going to do is cut both widths for the ceiling out at one time. That way the recessed end of the drywall will end up in the field in the ceiling. After you cut your width, cut the length. Same thing, chalk line, score the front, snap it, score the back, and it's cut. And I like to label every piece I can along the way. It makes the job a lot easier. Now lay your first piece down on a nice flat surface. Then find that reference point, that same corner that you made all your measurements from earlier, double check it, and then make all those marks from those measurements. Then draw lines from mark to mark. And then this will eventually give you a box that you can go by of where the cans are going to fall. After you have the box, go from corner to corner to get your center. Then grab an old pair of calipers or a drawing compass if you have one, whatever it takes to make that circle from the inside of that box. Do that on both sides. Now with your drywall saw, go ahead and give yourself a nice clean cut around that circle. Notice you can do this with the drywall on its side, or you can lay it down on the edge of the bench and cut it out as well. And the drywall saw also acts as a nice cleanup for any imperfections. Okay, let's take a look at our second piece of drywall. We're going to do this the same way. We're going to find that reference point, that corner that we made all of our measurements from, transfer those measurements to this piece of drywall. Take your time and make sure that you make all the correct measurements. Now that you have those measurements, go ahead and draw a straight line across from mark to mark. Then you have your box. Go ahead and X out your box to find your center. Then grab your calipers and go ahead and scribe the circle within that box. Go ahead and do that to both sides, and it seems to me that this piece of drywall was easier to cut with it laying on the edge of the bench. Now we need one more small piece on that one wall. So again, all you got to do is make your mark, score it, snap it, cut the back, and then we got to make another little mark, make our line, score it, snap it, cut the back, and now we're ready for an install.